Once upon a time, there was a queen who was eating rice cakes and honey with her chief advisor on her balcony. As they ate, a drop of honey landed on the balcony railing as the queen was pointing at something in the distance. The chief advisor asked if he should call a servant to clean it up, but the queen only laughed and told him that it was not her problem because it was just a drop of honey and someone would come and clean it later. They continued eating and chatting as the drip of honey began to slowly drip down and landed on the busy street below. The advisor once again called the attention of the queen and told her that the honey has now fallen onto the street and was attracting flies. He asked again if he should call for a servant. Just like the last time, the queen yawned and replied that a little drop of honey that is swarmed by a few flies is not her problem. She added that someone would deal with it later. Soon after that, a lizard rushed from underneath the palace wall and began to catch flies with its tongue. Then, a cat sprang from a nearby bakery, ready for some fun. The two animals batted each other back and forth like toys, until suddenly an angry butcher's dog came charging at them and began biting at the cat's neck. The advisor now reminded the queen that the flies attracted a lizard, which then attracted the cat, who is now being attacked by a dog. Once again, the queen just stretched and shook her head. She told her advisor to relax and those silly fighting animals are not her problem. When the baker saw the animals fighting, he saw that a dog is attacking his cat. He then ran out with his rolling pin and began hitting the dog. When the butcher heard his dog's cry, he ran out with his broom and started hitting the baker. Soon after that, the butcher and baker started fighting each other while the other shopkeepers nearby took sides and joined the fight. When the soldiers came along, some of them knew the butcher while some knew the baker. They too took sides, and the battle just grew and grew in the streets. The people began throwing rocks at the windows, tipping over carts, hurling a torch through a window, and eventually a fire raged and spread to the palace. The queen and the advisor were escorted out of the palace into the street below because the flames spread throughout the palace. Later that day, when the fire had died out, they surveyed what remained of their land. Suddenly, she stopped in front of where her balcony once stood and noticed a small puddle on the ground. She realized that it was honey and told herself that she should have cleaned it from the start. Now, all her kingdom was lost because of a drop of honey. From that day on, the queen never said, "It's not my problem." You see, the moral of the story is that small things can lead to big problems. A leader should have the right mindset and act accordingly whenever a situation arises. If they don't, their followers may suffer, just like in the example of the queen in the story. Learning to listen and consider what others are suggesting is one of the greatest skills that all leaders should possess. And also care for the people you are working with, and that is the way you can lead them with greatness. Just remember, all small problems lead to much bigger problems in the end. Never forget this lesson.